Today we're taking the next step because here's the real truth. Feeling grateful is not enough. We've all been there, smiling on the outside, checking the boxes, playing the parts, but feeling that gnawing sense of, is this really it? But here's the thing I've learned and what I want to remind you of today. We're going to talk about how purpose gives you drive, direction, and that fire in your belly feeling that makes it impossible to settle for less. So your fear of it is what has the power. Facing the truth really will set you free. Every time you hit a wall, you do the same thing. Stop, retreat, stay in the part of the maze you already know. The only way to get to that magical place, you've got to face the wall. And if you've been feeling like something's missing, even if you can't quite put your finger on it, this episode is for you. Hey friends, welcome back to the Fit Culture Podcast. I'm Sarah Lynn, if this is your first time here. I'm so happy you're here because today's episode is one I have been dying to share with you. So this is where we really start peeling back the layers and talk about everything that's changed. Actually, about the thing that changed everything for me. And if you listened to last week's episode, you know we talked about gratitude, how it cracked me wide open. And it helped me to start seeing my life through fresh eyes. And that was huge. But today we're taking the next step because here's the real truth. Feeling grateful is not enough if you don't know where you're going. I hit this point in my journey where I thought, okay, awesome. I'm seeing the good in my life, but what the heck am I actually working towards? What's my big vision? What is my mission? And what are we digging into today? Purpose. Purpose is what takes you from spinning your wheels to actually moving with power and direction. It's what gives your choices meaning and turns I should haves into I musts. So honestly, finding my purpose was the moment everything truly shifted for me. And it's kind of when that fire ignited inside of me. And I want you to know that you are so not alone if you've been struggling to figure this out. In fact, it's something that even the most successful, high-achieving people wrestle with. So I wanted to look at a couple of examples because I think it's really powerful to see that this isn't just a me and you thing. This isn't everyone thing. So first, because this one is kind of glaring and everyone knows this person, take Oprah Winfrey. Okay. We all, have seen her as the queen of living your best life now. But Oprah has talked openly, and we've all seen her struggle with her weight. And we watched as she struggled finding her true purpose and fulfillment, as her weight has gone up and down over the years. And so that's one of the clearest ways that we've seen her struggle. It was a very ongoing, very public battle with weight gain and loss that she shared for years. And she tied her whole self-worth up into the numbers on the scale. And no matter how much success she had, it wasn't fulfilling for her because she hadn't anchored herself in something deeper than appearances and success, right? And the yo-yoing wasn't just physical, it was a reflection of her internal struggle to find her true purpose. And this is what she said. The key to realizing a dream is to focus not on success, but on significance. And that is a super powerful statement because it's the significance that drives you. So once she reframed her life around purpose and impact, everything changed. Not just her business, but her health, her mindset, and her whole way of showing up in the world. And then there's Matthew McConaughey. Who doesn't know who that is? Yep, the Oscar-winning actor we all know and love. He wrote this book, Green Lights, and in it he shares how at the peak of his fame he felt disconnected and lost. Life was just happening to him. He stepped back, reevaluating what really happened. He rebuilt his career and life around a deeper mission. Here's the common thread with all of these stories, and with mine too, and maybe yours. From the outside, it looks like they have it all. But on the inside, they were struggling. And just like me, and probably you too, they were doing it in silence. We've all been there, smiling on the outside, checking the boxes, playing the parts, but feeling that gnawing sense of, is this really it? But here's the thing I've learned and what I want to remind you of today. We don't have to keep struggling in silence. We don't have to stay stuck in good enough mode. We can get clear on what we really want and why we want it, and we can start building lives that just light us up. So that's exactly what we're diving into today, how finding my purpose changed everything for me, from losing 75 pounds last year to reigniting my passion for my business and strengthening my relationships with Eric and the kids. And if you've been feeling like something's missing, even if you can't quite put your finger on it, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about how purpose gives you drive, direction, and that fire in your belly feeling that makes it impossible to settle for less. So grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's glow up together. All right. So here's the truth. After I started really practicing gratitude, I felt lighter. I was seeing my life through new eyes. I appreciated my body more. I was more present with the kids and even started cutting Eric a little more slack. You're welcome, babe. But after a while, I hit this new wall. I remember sitting there thinking, okay, so I'm grateful. Cool. So what am I actually working towards? And that's when it hit me like a brick. I didn't have a clear purpose. I was doing stuff, but I wasn't working toward anything specific. Um, and let me tell you, gratitude without purpose, okay, it's like having a gorgeous car with no gas in it. It looks really cute, but you're not going anywhere. And the oh crap moment was like, how did I even get here? Because I hadn't always been like this, but from around, age 42 to 52 last year, little by little, I let life just start to happen to me. And I gained weight. I started hiding, and literally and emotionally. And I let the momentum of playing small build until I was totally stuck. And the kicker, I'm running a freaking fitness retreat with Eric. And he's out there telling our clients every day, you've got to have a growth mindset. Gratitude is everything. You need a bigger vision. And I'm sitting back there going, huh, weird. I wonder who that advice is for. Until one day it hit me square in the face. Oh, it's me. I need to hear this. I remember thinking, Sarah, how did you let this happen? Like, how did you, of all people, get so far off track? I realized I wasn't walking the walk. I was kind of just limping along, hoping that nobody noticed. So, like we talked about in the last episode, Eric and I had this big conversation one night, and he said something that stuck. We need to be more grateful as a family. We need to model this for our kids. And so here's something really cool that happened when we started doing this with the kids. And honestly, it surprised me. When Eric and I brought gratitude and purpose into our family life, it didn't just change me. It shifted like our whole energy as a family. And it really deepened like my relationships with the kids and with Eric in ways that I never expected. And now my kids are older, okay? I just want to clarify, like Bella is out there crushing it at hockey last season, and this next season she's playing tier 1 hockey in Pittsburgh, and now she is headed to play NCAA Division 1 hockey. I mean, wow. Hope is graduating summa cum laude and has earned multiple academic scholarships. She's off to college on the East Coast next year. And Lucas, he's over there taking Harvard courses and working on our family business at Fitness Retreat. And let's just say high achievers are kind of a thing around here right now. Obviously, I'm incredibly proud mom. Um, but what's been the most meaningful is seeing how these gratitude and purpose conversations have actually brought us closer. It's changed how we relate to each other. I'm not just mom anymore. I'm a partner in growth with them. They're proud of me for doing the work on myself, and I'm proud of them for chasing their dreams. Like, we push each other, we celebrate with each other, and we keep each other accountable to keep leveling up. And listen, I know not everyone listening is going to be in the same stage of life. Like, maybe you're an empty nester now. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you're single and flying solo on your own journey. I want you to hear this loud and clear. This is not just about family in the traditional sense. Just take a moment to think about the people you're close to. Who are the voices that you let into your head? Like, are they living with passion, fire, and purpose? Are they grateful, happy, and driving towards something bigger? Because whether it's your kids, your partner, your best friend, your coworkers, whoever is in your circle, their energy can either lift you up or drag you down. And having people around you who get it, who are also working to be their best, that makes the journey so much richer. Okay. But hey, if you don't have that group yet, if you're sitting there thinking, I don't really have anyone who's on the same path with me, don't worry for 1 second because I am here with you. I will work my butt off to be a positive, supportive, and impactful part of your life. I'm serious when I say I want you to feel like you're part of my family too. That's what this community is all about. I mean, you're not alone in this, and I'm walking this road right alongside of you, and I've got you. And I hope you've got me too. So let's really dig into this because I want you to feel how this transformation actually unfolded for me. Because I think it will help. And this will help you to start moving towards your own purpose too. So when I had that aha moment, um, that realization that gratitude had opened my eyes, but still I didn't know where I was going. I knew I needed a roadmap. And the best part, I actually had one sitting right in front of me. As you know, Eric and I have worked with so many fitness retreat clients, helping them to figure out their own goals, overcoming mental blocks, and creating lasting change. We've always used a simple but super powerful framework that we call the blueprint method, which is digging into your problem, finding the solution, taking action and accountability. And girl, even though I'd been teaching this to people for years, there was a 10-year hiatus from teaching where I was just really behind the scenes doing the business side of fitness retreat. And so it's probably no coincidence that this is the foggy period where I lost myself. So I hadn't really applied it in my own life in a meaningful way for a really long time. I had the tools and the knowledge, but I wasn't inspired to really dig in until last year when everything finally clicked. So the first step I took was to get brutally honest with myself and face my problems. Um, and figuring out, like, diving into that is really, really hard. Like, what was really holding me back? So, um, I had to ask myself some uncomfortable questions. What is actually standing in my way? Why do I keep circling around the same issues without real progress? And like I've said before, what I realized, and maybe you will too, is that my biggest block was me. It was my mindset, my patterns, and my default settings. Now, to help me get super clear about that, I went back to one of my favorite tools, the personality assessment we use at the fitness retreat. This tool helps uncover not just your strengths, but also those sneaky traps you fall into over and over again. It is kind of cool. Like, when I took it during my foggy years, my top traits were victim and void. These are not the greatest personality traits to have because if you're a victim, when you find someone you always find someone or something else to blame every time things don't work out. And when you're a void, you feel empty, like nothing really matters and nothing's going to change anyway. So the problem with that combo is that I was stuck in a cycle of feeling like my what life was lacking and then blaming everything on everyone else. And at the same time thinking, "Oh well, what's the point?" Um, Sound familiar? Maybe not the same exact words, but let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you know what you need to do, but you just can't seem to get yourself to do it? Have you caught yourself saying, well, it's just not the right time, or I'd be successful if blank wasn't in my way? Do you feel like you've tried everything, but deep down you know you haven't fully committed? Or maybe you feel numb, like you're going through the motions, but there's nothing there. There's no real spark anywhere. So take a second with these questions and be really honest with yourself. So, fear is the root of so much stuckness. And here's the truth, most of what holds us back is fear. It shows up in sneaky ways: procrastination, perfectionism, self sabotage. It convinces us to stay small because stepping out of our comfort zone, that is terrifying. Even people we think have it all together face this, like Chris Evans. He's talked openly about how anxiety and fear of failure almost made him quit acting at one point. Can you imagine if Captain America had given up before stepping into his purpose? And Oprah said it best: the thing you fear most has no power. Your fear of it is what has the power. Facing the truth really will set you free. But here's something I really want you to understand because this blew my mind when I started leaning into it. Our brains are wired to keep us safe. That is their number one job. Your brain doesn't actually know the difference between real danger and perceived danger. So, real danger is like falling off a cliff. Perceived danger, like walking into the gym for the first time in a decade or telling someone your big scary dream. To your brain, discomfort equals threat. So, what does it do? It throws up warning bells. This is scary. Let's not do this today. Maybe tomorrow would be better. That's why it feels so hard to push through, even when logically you know you're fine. Your brain is just trying to keep you in the same place because sameness equals safety. Think of it like this. Imagine you're a little mouse in a maze. You're running around, you're looking for a way out, and you hit a wall. What do? You turn around and scurry the other direction. Every time you hit a wall, you do the same thing. Stop, retreat, stay in the part of the maze you already know. Now, here's the kicker. What if on the other side of that wall, there is this lush green garden, like a place of abundance and joy and a heightened version of yourself? But because you keep turning around at the wall all of the time, you never even realize that it's there. That's exactly what we're doing when we let fear stop us. We're staying confined to this small, familiar part of the maze when something incredible is waiting just beyond what's comfortable. The only way to get to that magical place, you've got to face the wall. You've got to push through, look for a crack, find a new path. Heck, bust that wall down if you have to, because every time you step into the uncomfortable, you carve a new path forward. And here's the totally cool part. You're literally rewiring your brain with every scary, brave step you take. You teach your brain, this is safe. This is who I am now. That's neuroplasticity in action. Your brain adapting, creating new default patterns, and making what was once hard feel easier and more natural over time. And something else that's really cool about your brain is that when you have a clear purpose, it actually activates specific neural pathways that keep you motivated. Dopamine is the brain's feel good, goal oriented chemical, and it lights up when you have a mission that you're working towards. So, that's why when you're aligned with your purpose, you don't just feel better emotionally. You actually have more focus, energy, and drive. Purpose literally fuels your brain's reward system. So, you are going to demolish those blocks that are holding you back. So, the next time you're tempted to turn around at the wall, whether it's skipping out of a workout, not making that phone call, or talking yourself out of a big goal, remind yourself that wall is just a temporary block. And on the other side, your next level life. The only way out, though, is through. So every time you push through, you're moving closer and closer to the person that you're meant to be. So let's not stay stuck in the tiny corner of the maze. Let's go get the garden, friend. Okay, breaking down the problem, my journey and yours. So I knew my biggest block was me, but what about you? I want you to start digging into your own patterns and ask yourself, what's my default response when things get hard? Do I avoid challenges, get angry, shrink back, blame others? Am I letting perfectionism paralyze me? That's the big one. Perfectionism feels like high standards, but really it's often fear wearing a fancy dress. For me, after doing the deep work, I saw my pattern shift when I retook the personality test recently. I tested as perfectionist and caretaker. That's a step forward, but it's still something I have to watch because perfectionist means my standards are sky high, great in business, but exhausting if I let it rule my life. And caretaker means I'm great at looking after everybody else, not so much myself. Um, it's progress, but still a work in progress. So here's a question for you. Are you who you want to be or who you've defaulted into becoming? Are the patterns you're living by your choice or just habits you fell into? The ripple effect, how your glow up changes everyone around you. So I want to talk about something incredible that happens when you commit to your own growth. The ripple effect. I've seen it up close and it is real. When I started practicing gratitude with my family, I thought it was just going to be a little nice mindset shift. But wow, it turned into something so much bigger. That simple practice, it didn't just make us a little happier at dinner, it completely launched me into the next phase of my life. It opened my eyes, it led me straight into finding my purpose and totally reshaped my relationships. And through that process, I realized something huge. My purpose is to be transparent about my journey, to bring all the knowledge I have and to share all of the real and messy transformational experiences that I'm going through with you. That's scary because I don't want this just to be about me. I want to build a community where all of our ripples keep pushing outward, growing bigger and stronger. And here's the thing, I hope you can start to see it too. Even if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't have people in my life right now who are on this journey with me. Guess what? You have me. You have this community. And let me tell you something. This energy we're building, it's contagious. Your energy is contagious. Your growth is contagious. And together we're sending that powerful, positive message out into the world. And here's the beautiful part. As you step into your glow up, your circle is expanding naturally. Your energy is going to start attracting the right people, people who lift you up, people who want to grow alongside of you. You're going to inspire your family, your friends, your coworkers, even strangers just by being you. You might think you're small right now, but friends, your power is big. And once you start stepping into it, once you really start using that power, you're going to affect every single person you come into contact with. This is how we change our lives. This is how we grow together and we change the world around us. So here's a motivational kick. Why facing the real problem is powerful. So facing your blocks head on is not easy, but it's the only way to get free. And I want to leave you with this quote from Brene Brown because she always nails it. You can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot have both. Let's choose courage together. Let's get to that garden. Let's light up the world. And because I want you to have the same tools I'm using, I'm dropping the link to the free personality test in the show notes. Download it, take it, and start getting curious about what it reveals. I'd love to see your results in the comments. And so as we wrap up, I want your homework for this week to be simple. Take the personality test, link in the notes. Sit with the question, what about me is holding me back? And start dreaming. What do I really want my life to look like? We're just getting warmed up, friend. Each episode from here is designed to get you moving forward. Stronger, clearer, and more fired up than ever. You do not want to miss what's coming next. Until then, keep glowing up and keep choosing you.